What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. What's up? Come on in the room, y'all. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but we live, honey. We got some things that we need to discuss. Team Twirl. Team Twirl. We are so back. Hey, JG. Hey, Tracy Lee. Hey, Claudia. I see y'all. Come on in, y'all. This is an impromptu live. I wasn't even, see, here's the thing. If her team had dropped on time, if they dropped yesterday, I could have gotten this out of the way a little bit earlier today, but you know, it's okay. We here now. It is what it is at this point, okay? Come on, 17 people in the room. Hit the like button on your way in. Hey, Black Smile, thank you so much for joining. Okay, we got some things to discuss, y'all. Kenya said a lot in a little bit of time. We are going to get into it all, honey. Okay, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Now, here I am thinking I was just gonna, you know, curl up to a cozy little episode of Beyond the Gates, finish crocheting this dress, honey. I had a couple of sketches that, you know, I worked on this week, and I was like, I'm gonna get so much crocheting done this weekend. I have this new rule where I'm like, Sundays are gonna be my new rest days, unless it's like emergency, but I'm really trying to make it so that like Sunday is the day that I don't work. So I'm like, I got to get something done for Saturday. I actually have another video that I'm going to post for y'all. It is Nene Leaks related, so just be on the lookout for that. I think I might drop it after this live, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure, but it's already done. It's already edited. Okay. Hey there, Liberia Rose. Hey, Ayana. Hey, Ariel. Thank y'all so much for joining. Let's go ahead and get into it, honey. All right. As I was saying, Team Twirl, we're back. We're back in business, honey. Now, I done dragged them people. I dragged her and her team earlier for being late, not once, but twice, but that is okay. We are here now. I did start to lose faith, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I did start to lose a little bit of faith. I said, what is going on? How are you supposed to drop on Tuesday and then you move the date to Friday, and then Friday comes and then I wake up on Saturday morning like it's Christmas, ready for my gift, and still nothing? Like, y'all, you have me out here looking crazy. So my thing is like, don't have me out here. Friend, somebody that I'm dating, somebody I go, like, don't have me out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean when I say don't have me out here. Those tornadoes got me. The tornadoes are so funny. I feel like Rodney started that. That is so funny. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I just want to start this by saying I thought that Kenya, number one, she looked gorgeous, stunning. The hair, I love the long braid. I love that red bottom leopard print shoe. The look was correct. Everything was correct. Also, I know I dragged her team a little bit, but I wanted to give them a shout out. See, it's two truths are coexisting at once here. Y'all were out of order, but I still respect how y'all put this together. I love the way this was filmed. I love the way this was shot. Shout out to whoever edited this. Baby, the editing was so crispy and clean, honey. Now, just as a little sidebar, I did see at some point Binge Worthy was in the comments offering his services to Kenya Moore. Kenya, I don't know if he's said things or if he's dragged you. I don't care about none of that. If that man is offering his services to you, humbly accept. I think he would be a great addition, and I think he would be dedicated. Okay, stunning. Exactly, Tracy Lee. The look was gorgeous. Ariel says, I thought it was going to be corny based on the trailer, but I loved it. Editing was on point. 100%. 100%. And I too, Ariel, was worried. I was like, what is it gonna give? You know what I'm saying? Like it was already a little bit touch and go, you know, with the time constraints and everything like that. I said, not my girl is gonna flop out on us. Like I can, my spirit cannot handle another flop coming out of RHOA. The amount of talent that has come out of that franchise to have so many flops, baby, I wasn't gonna be able to do it. Like I can't take. I can't, and I know I'm being a little bit dramatic right now, but it's like, y'all, there's only so much a girl can take. Hey Yolanda, hey Juanita, hey D Nicole. I'm here, honey. I am here. I'm here with my notes, and then when I get off of here, I'm gonna have me a little fish sandwich. And I'm gonna crochet a little bit, try to finish up this dress, honey. All right, so high quality editing. It looked amazing. Now, she starts by saying that she is taking back her narrative and how she is tired of everybody eating off her name. That was shade at Bravo. That was shade at production, if y'all didn't catch it. Jocelyn says, hey chat, sending love from Chicago. Sending love to you back, babe. Thank you so much for joining. Hey JC, I see you, boo. Thank you so much for joining. Now she goes on to clear up the lies that Portia told on her channel about another housewife sending her photos. She said that everything was available online on various corn sites. She also cleared Ming Lee's name. She says that she hired an investigator, and she also went to an attorney who assured her, you know, that by federal and state law that this was not revenge P, because she started to panic. She said, oh my God, like, did I do something wrong here? Whatever, whatever. So the lawyer, the attorney, cleared her name. Now, I think I have a couple of lawyers that follow me. I know I have at least one legal eagle in Scotch Gang who informed me, you know, that this was not revenge P and blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. Now, here's what was interesting for me, okay? She said that she was sorry and that she was wrong and that she should have not done it. This was the first time I have seen her publicly take accountability, and I was very proud of her for that. Because I remember when she went on the Tamron Hall show, I even felt like when I watched that interview, I felt like she was kind of doubling down on it. I didn't feel personally as though she was taking accountability. Cami Bella says we're eating good today. Absolutely. She did better here than on Tamron Hall. Exactly, Ariel. Now that was the part where I was like, okay, because I didn't know if she was going to come on here and own it. And my whole thing was, when you do something that is so, you know, you take action that is so polarizing and it's kind of split when it comes to, you know, morality and things like that. I think that you should just own it. You should just own that you offended people, that you made people uncomfortable. Hey, DMS, you need to own that. And I'm so glad that she did. So that made me really happy. Kenya also says that she does not feel as though Vernita Green misinterpreted her energy and that it was all very calculated from the start. She says she feels as though she went to Portia and said to her, oh, you know, I can read the girls. I can get the girls together, honey, you know. And she made all of these promises to production as well, and how she wanted to come in playing the villain and had it in her mind, okay, this is the person I'm going to go after. She says, I don't think that the lady realizes that most people assume if you don't have your band, that you are, you know, just engaged. Most people assume that you're engaged. Sorry, y'all. I was dictating my notes into my phone, so I'm trying to read that in a way that I'm like, what? What did I say here? That was my note. I don't think that the lady realizes that most people assume if you don't have one, a wedding band, that you are engaged. She says that her fans know what shade looks like, and she's right, because y'all, the very first time that I watched that episode 1, I was like, why is she taking this as shade? I was like, I know Kenya more shade. That's not shade, babes. So Kenya was correct in her assessment as well there. Hey, Jameer. Thank you for joining, boo. Now, she said something here that was a major key factor that I don't think that most people considered in all of this, okay? And it's something that I usually consider, but for some reason, I kind of glazed over this, right? Now, here's my thing. I don't think I've ever talked about this with y'all before, but I don't really like it when I'm meeting a person for the first time and they're like, you know, I'd go to shake their hand or whatever. I say hi, hello. And they're like, oh, no, you know, let's hug. I'm a hug person. I'm a hugger. Whoa, whoa. Who said I was a hugger? You're a hugger. That's cool for you. That doesn't mean that I want to hug you. You're a stranger. We don't have to hug upon our first meeting. Like, it's not a crime to not want to hug somebody. And she said that is her boundary. She says when she's out and about and she's meeting people, she doesn't like to give hugs because there's a transference of energy. Y'all know I'm very big on that. I'm very big on energy and all of that. Like, I don't like people too close to me in certain situations. I don't need you to hug me. I don't need you to touch me in certain instances. I very much believe in that. So I wasn't even mad at what Kenya had to say about that, because she's not wrong. If she don't want to hug you, and you know, every time we see you, you're begging for hugs. You're a hug beggar. And I said this in one of my early reviews, like, she is one of those where my hug at ass niggas. I said that in I think the very first review that I did. Erica De Niro TV elaborated on it a little bit more, where she was saying, like, you know, those niggas from around the way where they be like, where my hug at? You know, they want a certain kind of interaction with you. And when they don't get it from you, they turn violent. Didn't I say she has very mannish energy? You threaten somebody with a pow pow and then you show up on their doorstep, show up to their, you know, to their business event or whatever like that with flowers. Unhinged, mannish behavior. Thank you, Kahara. Welcome. Hey, Recessionista. Let me see what else y'all are saying, honey. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm huge on energy, especially in crowds. Hugs are personal. Exactly. Not y'all calling her Brayden. My coworkers are always so offended when I don't want to hug. Like, girl, we're cool, but I don't want to hug you every morning. Wait, motherfuckers want hugs every morning? That they want hugs at all is like, no. I don't want you to press your body into mine. Like, I just feel like sometimes, like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's so, like, people don't realize how intimate hugs are. Like, I don't want to press my titties into you. Random coworker, random stranger. Like, I don't want that sensation. Anyway, child, let me get back to my notes, honey. I said, ooh, we Kenya. That's a great point. She says that, did I read that already? Yes, that her energy was not misinterpreted, and that, you know, she was actually very calculated for the way in which that she went after her, okay? What else do I have here? She says that she thinks that the lady wanted to come on as a villain, and she promised them that she would go after Kenya and read her. And she was surprised and thrown off that Kenya was so nice. And Kenya was like, I'm a nice person. I was nice to all of the girls. Now, she said that Colombiana was exceptionally boring those first 3 weeks of filming and that there was nothing special about her. She said that she wasn't wearing designer, that her husband wasn't interesting, and nothing in the group scenes made her feel like she was a star, and that she was dull. I said, that was the shade. That was the read that you were looking for, girl. Y'all. I was like, oh shit. I don't know. Can we just pull over on that for a second really quick? I just want to read that again. She said that Colombiana was exceptionally boring those first 3 weeks of filming, that there was nothing special about her, okay? That she wasn't wearing any designer, that her husband, your husband, her husband was not interesting. Nothing in the group scenes made her feel like she was a star and that she was dull. She said that Angela gave her something. Kelly gave her something. She was already familiar with Shamia. It gave her something. Now, remember whenever Kenya said, I don't really involve myself with peasants, and immediately, over in Ishii started snarling. Arr, 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 arr. She started snarling, just like she did with Angela. She snarled and, wanted to bark at Angela too in the last episode. I would have loved for somebody to have or to just be a fly on the wall in that moment when Brittany sees that Kenya called her dull and exceptionally boring and says she didn't have one designer. She pretty much called her poor. I mean, she didn't say that, but by housewife standards, that is what she was saying, y'all. That was sickening for me. She ate that. Let me see what all y'all are saying, honey, because the comments are going kind of fast. A brokey. Oh! Yes, Ren, honey. Britt got that permanent grimace. Exactly, she does. She's old. Who says she has baggy teeth? You know what? Y'all are just so out of control. What else y'all saying? Britt's veneered over by June. Oh my Lord. Now that was a read, honey. Exactly. Yes, Britt is like how Portia was her first season. And it's COVID still out here. Don't hug me. No, I don't. Yes, exactly. People still getting sick, honey. Who is MB? Huh? On my day channels live talking about the Kenya video. Hey Saturn, energy overlay. All right. Let me jump back into the notes, honey. Britt is acting like Ayana, you are very silly for this. You are very silly for this. Britt is acting like Matthew Knowles' baby. Britt is acting like Oh my God. That legit has me down. I really have tears. Ayana, you are dumb. Oh my God. Always been Shayla. Hey, boo. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my God. Brit is acting like Matthew knows. Matthew knows baby mama that wanted to be acknowledged by Beyonce. Oh shit. Oh my God in heaven. Oh, that's a mess. Woo. I'm not sure if she realizes she's on a cast with several beautiful women in several different flavors. So that I'm so what? I lost it. That I'm so beautiful and hated thing is tired. I agree with you, Nick Manor. Like, girl, you're not the only beautiful girl here. Like, all of these bitches is bad. And then this assertion that Kenya Moore is jealous of me. Baby, the Kenya Moore? Like, video vixen, Miss USA, pageant queen, actress, it girl. Jealous of what? For what? Oh, that was a good laugh. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Ayana. The delusion, exactly. Okay. Let me get back into my notes, child. Y'all are a mess, honey. That was funny. Okay. Kenya Moore is stunning, smart, successful girl, please. And she still looks pretty much like how she looked back in the 90s when I was a child. Hello? She don't look that much different. What is there to be jealous of? Jealous of a failed P-star, girl, be for real. I watched a deep dive Color Me Pink did on Brisket. It had videos of her from back in the day and even back when she was talking about girls being jealous of her. Yeah, Lysol. I did watch that as well. And before Keisha, before she posted that, I had seen the videos of her talking about, oh, we're going to have a sexy, steamy time in the shower. I saw all of that. And it was circulating around the internet. It was. So yeah. I wonder if they will keep Brit. I wonder too, because the audience hates her. I just like random people touching me. Kenya went way too hard, but Brit constantly attacked her for absolutely no reason with her nasally ass. I agree. Mother was wearing that orange dress. She sure was. Jealous of this? Exactly. Thank you, Spicy Original. I like that name. All right. Let me get back down in my notes, child. I plan to make this a quickie. I just wanted to get in and out, y'all. All right. We're going to see. We're going to see, honey. Why would Bravo hire Brit for Housewives? I will tell you, that is a great question, Lexi. I believe that they hired her because, you know, they love scams and schemes. They love fraud. Same reason that they hired Jen Shaw. Okay. I think that when Bravo, of course, they have to run their background check, right? I think once Bravo realized who it was that they were dealing with as it concerns Lara Croft, I think that they said, listen, guys, you know, they had a meeting and they said, we have struck gold. We have struck gold. This woman was a P-star. She was a video vixen. She did this and that. I'm sure she probably only told them that she was a video vixen. Okay, I'm sure that's all. And then they looked into her and they found some more things. And they said, y'all, she has a questionable past. She says that she does insurance. We can't find her business. But we're going to bring her onto the show because all of the questions that we have are all of the questions that the audience is going to have too. They're going to dig into her past. The women are going to find her questionable, and they are going to know that she is sticking out like a sore thumb. Is that the term? Is that the phrase? They're going to know that she's sticking out. And they were correct. I feel like, I mean, it was evil of them. It was chaotic evil. But production ate with that one little thing because they knew that it would be controversial. She probably did promise them that she would go after Kenya. I agree. I think Bravo knows what these girls have going on behind the scenes. They knew with Brit. They knew with Jenny. I don't know how you say that last name. I feel like Asian people have said that it's not pronounced win. So I don't want to keep saying that. But Jenny from SLC, they knew with Jen Shaw. Yes, they love scams and schemes and they love fraud. I'm telling you, they do. They love a scandalous past and a scandalous history. Hold on one second, y'all. My puppy wants to come inside. Okay, y'all. All right, let me see what else I got down here in these notes, honey. Okay, now what else? She says that she thinks that production went to her and said, you need to do something, okay? She said it wasn't until 3 weeks after the incident where, over in Ishii threatened her with a pow pow that production's lazy asses decided that they needed to do an investigation, which turned out to not be so much of an investigation. It was simply just asking, hey, do you have a pow pow? And her being like, no. She also has the receipts that we all have of, Kim Possible saying, keep that thing on me. Now, what did I write here? It's so weird when you dictate your notes into your phone because I didn't say that. What? My bad, y'all. Okay. I said here, I was kind of still going on about how I would have loved to see her reaction to this woman calling her dull, pointing out that she doesn't wear designer and that she needed to create a moment off of Kenya's back. Because I'm sure that that is a huge insecurity for her, seeing as though she was a video vixen who dated athletes and ballers and rappers and couldn't pay for her dad's funeral. I told y'all this already. That's bad pussy management. Why can't you pay for things? If you were in that life, if you were in that business, if you were in that lifestyle, it doesn't make sense. The math is not mathing. YouTube played in my face and I got here late, but I'm glad I made it. Thank you so much, Angie Royal. I appreciate you so much for the super chat. Y'all have been lighting me up this month. Y'all have made this a good month for me on YouTube. I really appreciate y'all so much. And if that lunatic would have shot Kenya, what would they have told Brooklyn? Sorry. Come on, somebody. Come on. Yes, 125 in the chat, honey. Let's hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me, y'all. It's the fact that Ralph had a confessional. I'm like, why his egg-headed ass get to have a confessional? Shirtless confessionals. I've always heard that. Yes, I've always heard that it was pronounced win too. But then I also heard after that that it's not pronounced win and that's just like they're, you know how like people will give you a name and be like, Oh, it's pronounced this way, but that's just like them giving you like an Americanized version of their name, but it's not really how you pronounce it. It's just that like a lot of American people are disrespectful towards people's cultures. So they'll give them like the watered down version of their name or whatever. And they're like, oh, it's pronounced this way, but it's not really pronounced that way. That's what I heard. So I just didn't want to be disrespectful. But if it's pronounced when, then yes. Hey, Mauricio. What people seem to not understand is you cannot control how someone reacts to violence and disrespect. The only thing wrong with what Kenya did was give that weirdo a moment at her event. I agree with that. How much are y'all going to bet Brit isn't going to give any glamorous events, child? I saw the preview for next week, and you know, I saw what it was giving, and I already have some thoughts on that, honey. Because you know how Bravo is doing all of these previews. They're giving us all of these snippets, the sneak peeks. And I'm like, girl, I'm tired of sneak peeks, but I also get it because I feel like, you know, the ratings are kind of in the dumpster right now. So they got to do whatever they can to try to promote the show. So back to poor pussy management, right? Because you're a video vixen, you're a model, you're dating all of these bowlers and athletes and rappers, and you can't pay for your dad's funeral, excuse me. So I'm sure that Kenya's saying that kind of, you know, it tapped into that insecurity that she clearly has, right? She also says that she doesn't understand people who come on reality TV with a shady past. And then she went on to mention Simon and Portia's, Simon, excuse me, who is Portia's soon to be ex-husband. I told y'all, Bravo loves scams, schemes, and fraud. Because they knew damn well what Jen Shaw was up to. Or if they didn't know what she was up to, they knew that there was something sketchy about her and that things didn't add up and that she was the perfect candidate to bring onto the show to document somebody like her getting arrested. Like I'm sure that they can see things way down the line. Okay. They be giving a 6-minute sneak peek, and then we've seen the whole episode when they upload. Exactly. Like, girl. All right. Let me get back into these notes really quick. All of them are frauds. Look at Erica. Erica. Oh, Erica Jane. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Also, I put here in my notes that it was really good to see Kenya laughing and having a kiki. I did enjoy seeing her in this, you know, having this disposition. It was just good to see her smile and look like herself. You know, she didn't look like she was sad or downtrodden or like she was going through. And maybe she really is behind the scenes, but if she is going through, she didn't show. And Portia is lucky Kenya took it easy on her, because the old Kenya that everybody wants so bad would have had her foot on Portia's neck about Simon. Absolutely. Can you imagine? Baby, I wish. I wish. She says that these people are so egotistical that they don't think that they'll be found out. Kenya says, if you paid to scrub the internet, they left some dust in the corners. Y'all, I cannot believe we have been robbed of confessionals from Kenya Moore. So y'all use her for content for the show. Like, why should she not be able to speak on what is going on? Like, I just hate like how it feels like they're trying to punish her, but there was no kind of reprimand, no type of consequence for Vernita Green. Kenya did eat her up with that one, Recessionista. She says that she went on Tamron Hall and took accountability, which I personally didn't feel like she did. You know, I feel like she's only now taking accountability, but you know what? We'll take it. Okay. This is the first time that I have heard her apologize without excuses. I'm very proud of her for that. She brings up how people keep mentioning the Kim Fields situation and how she pulled out the chair from under her and how it is her, you know, biggest regret on reality TV. She issued a public apology. She says that I think it was last year that Kim had invited her to film on her show, The Upshaws. I said, that's how you clear a bitch. So she said, so y'all can shut the fuck up about that. That's what she meant by saying that, y'all. Because I've seen people in my comments bring that up, and I'm like, I didn't feel like she was right for what she did to Kim Fields either. Like, I hated that moment from Kenya. But, okay. Anyway, she does a commercial break, and she talks about Kenya Moore hair care a little bit, which I thought was great. She was speaking to More Edges, which is one of the products that I cannot find online. I'm going to check my local CVS to have it, to see, to see if they have it. I was able to find the shampoo, the conditioner, and the hair mask on Sally Beauty. And then when I clicked on the hair serum and the More Edges product, there was like a 404 error. So I'm going to try to find it. I want to give my full review when I can have the full hair care line, so I can, you know, give y'all the rundown on the true experience. But we'll see. I'm going to look for it. And I thought that it was great that she took some time to promote her business. Shout out to the 137 of y'all in the room. Go ahead and hit the like button for me if you have not already. Yep, and Tom and Ariana from Vanderpump Rules were in a lawsuit for Revenge P currently and are still invited back to work. There it is. Okay. Now, this question of why didn't you go to the producers if you were so scared? And she says that she actually did. She says that she might have taken this differently if it was someone, if it was somebody on the show that she actually knew that didn't have something to lose. Then she ran it back again. She said it again for the cheap seats, She says it would have been taken differently if it was somebody on the show that they knew who had something to lose. She called her an unhinged weirdo with nothing to lose, a brokey with no business. I said, wow. Wow. I'm really curious as to what Colombiana's response is going to be. I'm so curious. The Kenya haters are weird. Their colorism is loud, child. She mentioned that yes, I have that in my notes. I'm going to get there in a second. I'm on Kenya's side, but didn't seem too afraid when she's going home with Portia. I think she was shaken up. She looked visibly shaken to me, even though she was acting unbothered. From what I saw, she looked like she was nervous. She didn't stick around and, you know, wait for her car to come. She got in the car with Portia. So just like Quad, Kenya isn't a perfect victim. So folks forget why they retaliated in the first place. Exactly. She looked scared to me too, Georgia. She tried to play it down like she was unbothered, but she looked like she was nervous. Like she was looking down at her phone, and maybe she was even trying to record it so she could have proof. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she looked shaken to me. So I said this earlier in my video where I was dragging Kenya and her team. I wasn't really dragging her, but I think that Kenya Moore watches Rodney The Voice, and after watching this, you know, her confessionals, her first episode, I think that she watches Erica De Niro TV as well, because I heard her say something that they both said verbatim. Now, the part about can you go to the airport and say that you have a pow-pow, that you're going to pow-pow somebody, I heard Erica say that. The bit where she mentioned, you know, if she had threatened Kyle Richards or Teresa from Jersey, she would be off the show. That was a page out of Rodney's book. Shout out to the girls. Shout out to the content creators who are pushing the conversation forward, who give the free press and promotion to the show. When we get up here and we talk about these people, it is free advertisement. Bravo knows. These Bravo celebrities know that. They know. So shout out to Erica De Niro TV. Shout out to Rodney the Voice. There's definitely a double standard. Absolutely. I mentioned that too, Georgia. Imagine if she said that to Kathy Hilton. Yes. Shout out to Erica. They gave no grace for Kenya because she is better than that and smart. Just because you have sense doesn't mean you have bad moments. It's sad they just invited her to the reunion. I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there, okay? Now, her producers, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, her producers asked her a question about Cynthia. She says, I don't want to talk about Cynthia. I don't want to talk about Cynthia either. Because I saw the clips going around of Cynthia on Carlos King's channel, and I saw a few people cover it, and I said, I'm not covering this because I don't give a damn. And I'm tired of talking about Cynthia, and I don't want to talk about it no more, and I don't care. And why is it that Cynthia is the only one out of all these girls going around saying disparaging things about Kenya? Oh, she's better than that. Okay, we know. But I'm going to be real with y'all. And I told my bestie this. But like, I didn't feel no type of way about it in the moment when she did it, like, because it was just too much going on. But if I did something that was clearly embarrassing, that, you know, because when Kenya was doing that shit, when she was showing those poster boards, she was embarrassed. She was. And at some point, she saw the looks on people's faces and she realized she couldn't take it back when they started walking out and she had to just keep going on. If I already am clearly embarrassed, I don't need my friend to come up to me and say, I think you're better than that. I don't want to participate. Girl, shut up. Shut up. Tell me later. Tell me in private that you're disappointed in me. Don't tell me in front of everybody. Like, girl, I'm disappointed in myself right now. I don't need you to lay it on me as a friend. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Cynthia was wrong. I'm just saying I don't want to be handled that way as a friend. I'm not saying you can't ever correct me. Do it behind closed doors. I don't need you to correct me in front of everybody on camera. I don't need that. I'm already embarrassed, sis. She knew that she took it that far. I'm just saying, if you're my friend, I don't need you to call me out. God Love Freedom says, I disagree. For something as egregious as that, she needed to be called out in front of others. I don't agree with that. I mean, call me out, but if you're my friend, I just feel like, I don't know. Mauricio says, I don't think what Kenya did was that crazy compared to what Britt did. Britt effed around and found out. A lot of people feel like that, Mauricio. Saying she was wrong is one thing, but Cynthia was on a whole campaign to make Kenya look like the wrong one in the situation. Ooh, the comments are moving fast, honey. I've always said Andy likes the pretty dumb wives like Portia, the pretty mean wives like Giselle, but hates the pretty smart wives, Kenya and Candace. Exactly. I agree with that. Yes, Ayana. Cynthia did not and does not need to keep correcting Kenya in front of company. I agree. I'm just like, why? It's like, I'm just so irritated by that. Like, girl, okay, we get it. She was wrong. And, you know, you have no fault in the situation. But it's like, why are you the only one continuing to talk about this lady? You don't got no business. Like, what is Cynthia promoting? What does Cynthia have going on? Like, you only talking about Kenya? and how disappointed you are. Girl, shut up talking about that girl. I don't dislike Cynthia or anything like that. I just find her very irritating. She just irks me. Ugh. Anyway, child. She says that she was invited to the reunion and then uninvited. I said, oh, this is sabotage, y'all. It's giving me a little bit of sabotage, because why would you want to tank your ratings like that? You have a chance to do something so iconic and bring this woman up here to tell her story. But I feel like Bravo feels like she might throw too many people under the bus, and they don't want to be accountable. They don't want to be responsible. Cynthia has never been a true friend to Kenya, period. Child. Correct me in private when I'm wrong, but not in the sake in front of the world. Yeah, correct me in private. She said it on like 5, 6 different. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you giving all these interviews talking about, oh, she was. Okay, we get it. Like, we don't agree with what she did either, but it's getting weird. It's getting weird, y'all. Unlike the colorist on RHOP, Kenya took accountability. Hello? I disagree. It needed to be said. If it was in private, no one would have believed it. No one would have believed what? Yeah, check me in private, Shinetown Niger girl. Crystal even said Cynthia and Kenya should have had a sit down afterwards. Yep. I think Kenya knew what she was doing was wrong, because she was taking shots like crazy, but she couldn't let it go. Yeah. I would have stopped my friend in the moment. Yeah, I could see that, Georgia, like running over to be like, girl, put it down, put it down. You know what I'm saying? I can see somebody doing that. Maybe I'm different, but I'd rather defend you in public and tell you what it is in private. I'd rather call you later and we would talk, but nobody should talk about my friend in public. I'm the same way, Nana. Like, I will get you together privately with love. Like, I love you, sister, but what you did was out of order. Talk to me. Like, what was you going through? What was going on in the moment? Like, I want to get to the bottom. I don't know what I would have to gain by like calling out my friend in public. It's like, girl, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm gonna call you later, sister. Okay, I love you. I don't know. I'm just different, and you know, everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of handling things. So I'm just saying, if you my friend, I don't need you to correct me in front of everybody. Like, it just feels a little bit like chastising. And I don't feel like friends do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not my parent. On the real, Nene and Kenny need to do a podcast and talk about all the behind the scenes things that we didn't know about throughout the years. I would love to know the real tea. So Monique, I actually did a video on Nene earlier today that I'm going to post at some point. I think I'm going to drop it tomorrow. Where I said, I feel as though she needs to dial up the housewives and use her direct line to them, a la Carlos King, and talk about some behind the scenes things and what's going on, you know, on the show, and speak to the episodes and whatever else. I think that that's a great idea. Maybe Nene will invite Kenya on and vice versa. Yeah, I think that that would be good. I've always wanted to see Nene and Kenya have a deeper connection. I think that they have a lot in common, and I thought that they brought a lot to the show. Do you think Kenya also feels that do you feel like Kenya also feels Cynthia should have stayed at her event? I don't know. Kenya and Nene don't need to do anything together. Nene was laughing about Kenya being fired. Yes, she was, but she also said that she felt as though she was curious to see how they were going to handle not having Kenya around, and that obviously they brought Phaedra on to replace her. So I think that she respects Kenya, but she was just, being petty, trying to get her lick back. But I still would like to see them together. Anyway, yeah, let me get back to my notes. Shout out to the 170 of y'all in the room. That is amazing. That's amazing. Shout out to y'all. All you beautiful people with me on a Saturday night at 8:30. You know, I was supposed to be crocheting. I was supposed to be finishing up a dress and catching up on Beyond the Gates. I just finished Black Mirror the other day. I just need to ask the writers, what the hell, what is wrong with y'all? What the hell is wrong with the writers of Black Mirror? Okay, let me not get sidetracked. Let me jump back into it, child. Y'all know I go off on a side tangent, honey. Watch Phaedra not bring anything. Thank you, Recessionista. She says that she is struggling to build a team and that she admires the team that Candy has. I think that a good team is hard to find. You know, so I understand her struggling in that regard a little bit. She says that when the scandal aired, that people were leaving bad reviews on her site. And I did look on her website a couple of days ago and I saw a couple, there were some lower reviews and I went through them and it was clearly people who watched the show and, they were saying that she was a bad person, how awful she was, this and that. And I think that as a public figure, you have to expect that to some degree. You do have to expect that people are going to, try to tear down your business if you do something that is very controversial that they don't like. And what she did was very controversial. I'm not saying that they are right or that they should be doing that. I think that that is to be expected. Not to mention Candy pays her team very well. I think that she has the budget to pay her people very well. Today is my daughter's birthday and I'm making her a crab boil and watching in the process. Oh, thank you, Kahara, for spending some time with me while you make your daughter's crab boil. Happy birthday to your daughter. Shout out to her. Listen, I love a crab boil. I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I had me some right now, but that sounds amazing. So happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday to her. Hey, y'all. YouTube didn't notify me that you were live. I'm sorry, babe. Sorry, Miss Cookie Ray. Yes, girl, I'm 49. I got a young 35-year-old. My daughter is in college. I'm a single nester, empty nester, and I finally got out the house to, ooh, I know that's right, Monique Austin. She says she got a young thing. Period. Period, honey. Child, I tried to talk to a YN, a young nigga not too long ago. Young for me. Young, and I had to immediately dead it because he was like talking too sexual too fast. And I was like, whoa. We ain't even going on a date yet, young man. Like, that was crazy to me. So I had to dead it. I was like, listen, I'm sure you're a very nice person, but I'm not interested. Like, it's not going to work. 35 to 49 ain't that, y'all are funny. I'll be 38. And this guy was like in his late 20s. And I was like, that's way younger than I usually go. I mean, I usually date older. Traditionally. But now I'm at that age where it's like the younger dudes are looking at me and the older dudes are looking at me. So it's a very interesting place in life to be. Okay. Hey, Queen Lily. Can't go too young or too old. You sure can't. I feel like early 40s is good for me. I feel like early to mid 40s is a good range. Maybe even late. You know what I'm saying? We still kind of like maybe early 50s. I'm not sure. These young dudes look handsome. They do. They look nice. I can only do 30 and up. Yeah, I need me with somebody with a little bit of skin in the game. Like, woo me, where are the innuendos? Where's the lingering heated looks? The romantic in me, it requires it. Listen, I just feel like I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, y'all, but niggas these days are missing charm and they're missing finesse. They're missing charm and they are missing finesse. Like, I can't even have a roster because it's like, what is even out here? Like, it ain't nothing in the damn streets. It's no finesse. Like, niggas don't know, like, they don't have game like that no more. Like, I'd be like, they say 2 words and I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. Let me get back to my notes. We done got sidetracked. They don't know how to have conversation without bringing up sex. It's like, come on. Anyway, let me get back to it. Now, she says she has some upcoming projects with her and Brooklyn coming out soon. She says that I am not on RHOA right now, but people are still obsessed with me and using my taglines. Now, in the last episode, we heard Ora and Ishii say something about how she, somebody needs to twirl away or something like that. And it's like, girl, you really saying like all of this lady's catchphrases. She told Kenya, I didn't send for you. How you going to tell the person who made up the catchphrase, I didn't? It's really embarrassing, y'all. It's embarrassing. Jen, what are you saying oh my to? That oh my is funny. I don't know why. Can't fake influence. Exactly. Preach, girl, because why are you always... Who is showing you deep prints on the snap? People be so out of order. Claudia says the men are no better in Canada. Childish. What happened to hi? How are you? My name is... Exactly. Anyway. So yeah, that was shade at Brittany again because, Brittany said something about twirling on and don't come for me unless I send for you. How embarrassing. But what do we think, y'all? It feels to me like at this point, Kenya does not mind burning a bridge. It feels like she's gonna, air it out. And, for a while, I was feeling like I just wanted Kenya to stay low and be quiet and just have some remorse and allow Bravo to invite her back. But they have been playing in her face for a long time. You cannot use somebody for your story to drive the story forward and not allow them to tell their piece. You can't do that. You cannot get this one-sided view of things that have happened. You can't do that. That's not okay, y'all. You have to hear both sides. Do you think her and Mark are back together? He was on her IG post and the focus on the ring on her first trailer was pronounced. I did see Mark in her Instagram stories earlier. I think he was just hanging out with his child. I don't think that they're back together. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Brit can't even string new words together. That's how boring she is. I genuinely think she's nuts. She has crazy in her eyes. I agree with that, Johnny Bravo. And didn't use the line right. Exactly. I'm praying she has other opportunities waiting. Yeah. And, it's just kind of tough with that. You know what I'm saying? Because she's in a rough place because it's an extremely polarizing topic. Some people feel like she was dead wrong and, whatever. And then there are some people who feel like Brittany got what she deserved. You can't threaten somebody with a pow pow. Like, it's super split and divided. So, you know, the business that she gets is going to be hinged upon, number one, this dying down, you know, enough time going by to where people will forget it. Will people, you know, will forget this. And she also, she has to utilize some of those Hollywood connects and, you know, the black actors and actresses that she knows. She might have to get back into that world. But similar to Nene, Kenya is very charismatic. And I think that if she wanted to host a show and keep a show going on her YouTube channel, she could very well do that. She could get the numbers that Nene Leakes has. I talked about this in my video. I'll post it at some point. But, you know, so let's take Shannon Sharp, for example, right? And Noriega, Drink Champs, and Club Shay Shay. They have these guests on, they have these conversations, and it's real, and it's an opportunity and a space for people to be vulnerable with somebody that they have some type of familiarity with. Kenya is, you know, if she brings Kim Fields up there, how amazing would that be? To have a conversation, to take some accountability, to apologize in front of everybody so that the fans can shut the fuck up about this. And, you know, talk a little bit about the business and, you know, whatever, have different guests on. She can really parlay this moment into something for herself. I just, you know, and I've said this about Nene in my video that I'm going to be putting out. I just wonder if the girls, I just don't feel like they realize how impactful and how influential they are in this space and how much power they actually have. Bravo is not the end all be all. It is a very nice track. We're not going to act like it's not a nice track. These girls make what, $1 million for a few weeks of filming. So there's a bag for you. There is a bag for you, Kenya Moore, if you know how to freak this space properly. Build your team. Get your team together. I don't like, and Kenya Moore, there should be more going on with her brand. She's a beauty queen. And literally a former Miss USA. Like, I don't know. Where are the Revlon ads and Lancome and, you know, the makeup sponsorships and like what? Where's legal? Where's her management? Yeah. She does need a good team, and she has been too focused on the show. Kenny said this season she was the highest paid, not Portia Shug Avery Williams. Queen Lily. Y'all are silly. I definitely think she should do Life and Style because she has a great body, a great head of hair. I can definitely see that, Monique. They all have channels now, baby. Everybody got a channel. Lucy. Who's a one-season wonder? Oh my God. Are you calling that lady Lucy? Y'all are funny. Nneka was more palatable than her. And that is shocking. Yeah. I think Kenya could absolutely be a YouTube star as well. And just based on what she has done in this one episode, I said, okay, her editing team, like they're on it. They're on point. She can do some things. She can do some things. She can bring some people into her world, into her space. Some other Bravo celebrities, other housewives. Kenya can do a lot. But yeah, y'all, listen, I just wanted to get up here really quick talk about it, and get back to Beyond the Gates, honey. They pay Portia and her mom in lemon pepper wings and pepperoni pizza. Y'all are silly. Kenya should have used the platform like Garcelle did. Yes, Garcelle went on to produce all of those movies and things and promote her movies. I think that Kenya, having this singular focus on Kenya Moore hair care, sometimes when you have a more singular focus, you get away from your other talents and things like that. So I wonder if that's what's going on, because I feel like that. I feel like I'm stretched in all kinds of different directions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a musician and I work full time, content creation full time. I crochet. You know what I'm saying? There are other things that I want to do as an artist as well. And I just always feel like, how am I going to be able to dedicate the time to all of these things that I really want to do, that I still want to do, that I believe in, that I still have a vision for? I'm not going to give those things up. I can't. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that way. I've always had, different pots on the stove going, and that's just how I am as a creative. I like to try a bunch of different things. I'm very whimsical like that. So I can see how it's kind of tough when you're focusing on a singular thing and other things kind of get away from you. Hey, Bonnie Scotch in chat, catching this live super late. Hey, Trauma Queen, thank you so much for joining, babe. Love your crochet pieces, Bonnie. Thank you, Trauma Queen. I actually had some sketches that I banged out earlier in the week, and then I'm finishing up this one dress. I kind of want to document that process of, sketching and then mapping out how I'm going to do the design, crocheting it, and then putting it together and styling it. I just really have not had the time, y'all. With RHOA and all of the news that has been coming out, it's just been hard to have that time back to myself. And then, I got a promotion and I started last week, and my schedule has changed. So everything feels different. Like, I'm just trying to get acclimated to the changes, and I know that it's going to take me some time. It's definitely going to take me some weeks to get acclimated to my new position, to where I can eventually feel comfortable enough to do things on my own, or, without needing somebody to shadow me or whatever. And then I can go on and switch up my schedule back to, like, 10 to 6 or whatever I had. But yeah, it's just been a lot. It's been a lot, and I'm doing my best. I'm just trying to stay creative, but like also I love content creation. I love having these conversations with you all. I genuinely enjoy it, and I love building community in this space. But I just feel like I can be torn in so many different directions, and as a creative, it has been kind of rough on me. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make room for everything. I feel like I always lament to y'all about the same thing, but it just reinforces for me how much of a luxury time actually is. I don't mean to get existential on y'all. Congratulations, will be here locked in. Thank you. Actually, this is the first time I've ever gotten promoted at a job. I've only ever gotten laid off or chucked the deuces. So this is my first promotion ever. I'm super proud. I'm really excited. I have a lot of responsibility. Basically what I'm doing is, releasing records, patient information, releasing to patients and doctors and attorneys and third-party requesters, and releasing answering to the subpoenas and different things like that. So I'm excited. It's a lot to know, a lot to learn. But yeah, thank you all so much. Thank y'all. Oh, thank y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Prioritize what you love the most. Thank you, Tracy Lee. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it all out, and not try not to feel that guilt of, damn, I should be doing more in the content creation space. Damn, I let crochet get away from me. Damn, I haven't been recording my music. I haven't been, really dedicating the time that I really want to writing. So it's such a mind fuck. Capitalism is a mind fuck. And man, oh, thank you, Cookie Ray. Cheers to the first promotion ever. Yes, thank you. Prioritize your health first and foremost. Yes, Queen Lizzie, I am. I had to get out of that old position. It had me so stressed out, like I was having panic attacks. You know what I'm saying? So I was so happy to move on. I was speaking to one of my one of my older coworkers about it, and she was like, I want to move to that position as well, but I'm afraid of change. Baby, not me. I love change. I'm very adaptable, extremely flexible. I pride myself on that. I love being able to, figure out how I'm going to adapt to a new situation. I would much rather adapt than stay down in hell. Thank you, D. Nicole. You get to do it all. Balance and creativity is a gift you give yourself. I love that. Yes, yes. And I really feel like, we live in a world where people will try to make you feel guilty about, oh, you got too much going on. You do too much. You don't, you're what's that phrase people love to use on creative people? Jack of all trades, master of none. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be a master. I just want to live out my potential. I just want to live out all of my dreams and visions and just be the most expansive person that I'm supposed to be. Like we supposed to be expansive in this motherfucker. Why would I limit myself to one thing? And that's no shade to people who can be one track minded and focus on just one thing. That's amazing. Not me though. I have a lot of different interests and I need to be able to feed that creative energy in me. I have to. I have to. But yeah, I just want to be me. Word to Jocelyn. Exactly. Faith help. Jesus is king. Um, okay. Thank you for joining the chat. I appreciate you for stopping by. Queen Lizzie said you just said a word. Thank you, babe. You and me. I love change. Yeah, change is not the devil that people think that it is. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather be uncomfortable for a little bit. But y'all, the peace that I have been able to restore, I could cry right now. The peace that I felt, just in the last week going through, my training and just having my quiet and my time back to myself and not feeling that state of panic. Oh my God. I'm so happy right now. I'm really so happy. I'm so happy. Ayana, what are you laughing at? They say that a lot. I'm also a creative person. I'm into textile design, graphic design, 3D creations, logo creations, multiple stuff. People talk too much. It's nice to have multiple talents. Exactly. I love that, Nana. I love that. Um, you know, I don't know. I just don't know what is up with this culture of shaming people for having multiple talents and creations. Is it jealousy? Like what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like also, I don't like to use the term white supremacy because I feel like supremacy is something that they assign to themselves, but I feel like that's a tactic of like white colonizers to convince you that, you should only be doing one thing. Jack of all trades, master of none. We don't need to be masters of things. I don't need to be a master of anything. I don't need to have a sense of mastery over anything. I just want to do what I came here to do. So I feel like that was, colonizers' ways of trying to get in people's heads and try to like convince them that, you know, being expansive and being creative is a bad thing. I done went off on a tangent, y'all. This is how we do when we be right here with it. Queen Lizzie, thank you so much for the super chat, boo. Y'all are lighting me up this month, honey. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, collection plate. All a person needs is joy. I know that's right, Faith Help. All a person needs is joy. What y'all laughing at, child? Y'all are funny. And they thought they were going to film in Simon. Oh, when they thought they were going to film in Simon's home. But Simon stopped that so Portia doesn't have a storyline. I don't know why that emoji that you use of the camera is so funny. That is so funny. Rodney the Voice posted team twirl, emergency meeting, and then he put the tornadoes with the drums. That is so funny. It's capitalism. If you aren't contributing to building wealth for corporations, they tear you down. Come on. This is the one. This is the one. This is it, Allison. This is it. That's the tweet. It's capitalism. If you aren't contributing to building wealth for corporations, they tear you down. If it's not about making money, if it's not about monetizing, do you notice that people don't seem to respect you or respect your artistry? Oh, does it pay? Bitch, that's none of your business. Wake it up, Allison. It's their own insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. That's another one, Queen Lizzie, because people will try to project their insecurities and their inadequacies on you. Just because you can't do it, bitch, don't mean that I shouldn't. And doesn't mean that I'm incapable. Just because you are not willing to put the work into your craft doesn't mean that I shouldn't. Some of us are just natural art baddies. Some of us are just naturally Renaissance women and men. Period. Like, it's a spiritual thing for a lot of us. Creating for me is honestly how I keep myself spiritually grounded. No bullshit. No lie. Tap in. Tap in. Like, you can tap in, but stop projecting on other people because you don't have that connection to yourself. Hello? Listen, y'all got me going off on this side tangent, honey. I hope you continue to be blessed abundantly, Bonnie. May the blessings continue to rain down. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, the cousins and Team Twirl will be there. All right. Let me get out of here. I think Rodney might be live. I have covered everything that I need to cover in my notes. I'm going to watch Beyond the Gates and catch up on TV. I'm going to make some crochet dresses, and I want to work on some patterns. I've been writing down my patterns so that eventually I can, give you guys some, like, I've seen these crocheters where they do these patterns that like they can explain everything in 5 minutes. So it will be patterns for people who already know how to crochet. And then eventually I will do like some, beginners, basic, crochet with me, learn how to crochet. Like, if you guys want to start from point A from the beginning, I'll have to like map out what that looks like. I was even thinking of maybe teaching like a live class in Maryland for those of you who live in the DMV. If y'all would like to take like a crochet class with me, I can maybe do something like that. I don't know. I don't know if you guys would be open to that, but I definitely would. I would love to teach a class and we can all make something together, make something beginner friendly. And I don't know. I'm just trying to, be a little bit more expansive in my thinking and in my vision for myself. And, I would love to at some point, be an educator. I feel like teaching somebody how to do something is and valuable and beautiful. So we'll see. We'll see. Y'all let me know. Y'all just let me know, okay? Let me see what else y'all are saying. I live in the DMV. I'd be open. That's amazing. Okay. So I already have somebody who will be down. Girl, let me just pay you to make me something. Okay. I actually need to work on my website so that I can put up some one-of-a-kind pieces and some ready-to-make things, because between working full-time and content creation full-time, it is a little bit harder to do like the shipping and selling format. Like years ago, I used to sell on Etsy, you know, crochet things and jewelry that I would make and things like that. And it was just a lot easier at that time. And now my time is just, it's not, you know, divvied up the same. So I'm going to figure out what that looks like. Work on my website so I can throw up some one-of-a-kind pieces. I also need to learn how to use my knitting machine so that I can do some size inclusive pieces. You know, when you're working with a woman's body, women's bodies are all different. And I want to be able to accommodate a lot of different body types if I am putting work out there. There's a lady in Colombia who, oh, by the way, DMV people, I do want to do a live event for you all. So I'm thinking a couple of things, right, in terms of live events. So one, we can just do like a get together, you know, where we come, we talk some shit, me on a mic. It could be a trivia night, it could be a watch along, it could be, you know, we talk pop culture shit, right? That type of tease, like very, very much like how, you know, Kempire would do. I also would love to teach classes. So reach out to me. Let me know if there are any like community centers or any breweries, any places that I could like have a live event. I'm not really familiar with the lay of the land like that. So I'm still trying to figure it out, y'all. Let me see what y'all are saying down in here. I would. I'm trying to get back in my creative bag. I drive down from Be More. Okay. That's amazing. So that's good to know. There's a lady in, you got cut off there. So I'll see if you finished that. But I'm good to know. Excuse me. I'm glad to know, Miss Cookie Ray, that you would be down for a class and that you would drive from Baltimore. I'm keeping that in mind. It happened 20 minutes ago, but I'm still screaming at the fact that you said you can't take another flop from RHOA. I can't take it anymore, Christian Jane. Welcome, babe. There is a lady in Colombia holding crochet classes at Columbia Mall. Ooh la la. Okay. Where? I need to figure out where people are teaching classes. Like I need to be able to rent out a space for 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, right? Y'all come. We have I don't know, I'll have like maybe some champagne for y'all, some bellinis, some tapas, you know, charcuterie. Um, Maybe even eventually, once I get it rolling, I can hit up Jade. A lot of y'all know Jade of all Jades, my homegirl. See if, you know, she wants to do a collab with me and she, you know, cook for y'all a little bit and, you know, we can do a joint event together so we can eat well and, you know, talk shit and have a good time. But I'm just trying to figure out like the when, the where, the how. It might be solo, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it'll be a collab because, you know, when you collab with other people, you know, it a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces. So I'm still trying to suss everything out. What else are y'all saying? So many spots in Montgomery County in DC. I live in Montgomery County myself. Maybe do something in Potomac and invite Jizzy and them. You're silly. I love Jade. Yeah, that's my girl. Hey, Leslie. Welcome, babe. Thank you so much for joining. I'd go to your class instead of hers. Okay. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to figure that out. Where am I going to hold my crochet class. And maybe I can even do a series where we can do like a part 1 beginners class, and then we do like a part 2 where, you know, we make something together. Let's make like a handbag or a bucket. I don't know, whatever y'all want to, I'll figure it out. Does your local community center or city run gyms have a leisure guide? They hold cooking classes and dance classes. Okay, I'll look into that. Miss Moore need to fix the audio though. You can't be filming in a big old echoey salon and have one small mic. Yeah, they're gonna work out the kinks. They're gonna work out the kinks. Let me capture that. That's a good idea, Claudia. Thank you. Photo. Okay. So yeah, I will be looking into some community centers. You know, I was thinking DC, but it seems like y'all don't mind coming to Maryland, doing an event in Maryland. So we could do that. Thank you, Leslie. Did I say thank you already? My bad if I did already. What else do we have here? Whatever you do, I'm coming. Now, where are you located, D. Nicole? Where are you located, boo? I took the knitting class in Columbia Mall. She did it at a restaurant in the eatery, believe it or not. I made my son a beautiful blanket. I'm down for another class for sure. She did it at a restaurant? Damn, I live nowhere near the DMV. I'm in Illinois. Oh man, I'm sorry. You know what? It's in my vision to eventually like travel to other places and, you know, do host classes or whatever like that. So don't count yourself out, recessionista. She did it in the eatery. That's kind of blowing my mind. What eatery? You're in Maryland, D. Nicole? What, how did I not know that? I guess I didn't realize that. So I definitely need to plan some things for the DMV tools. We have to get something together for spring summer, y'all. Like I need to see y'all. I need to see Scotch Gang, period. Was it done in a private room within the restaurant? Yeah. That's what I'm curious to know. Like I need to know the logistics. And also please feel free to reach out to me and DM me with any information. I'm at Bonnie Scotch, same handle on Instagram. So, you know, feel free to shoot me some information. Sounds fun. I saw she also did events all over. Who's the lady? Because I need to follow her and figure out what she's doing so I can copy her. Okay? Hold on one second, y'all. Actual spring, summer, or September. Exactly. Copy her, just different venues. Exactly. It's a bar type restaurant in the middle of the eatery out in the open. I can't remember the name. People were in the escalator looking at us work on our blankets. Bonnie, I told you I'm new to the DMV as well, but maybe something in DC centrally located. Okay. Yeah. I need to find a community center. I need to find a place. Actually, some years ago, I had to go to DC. I was hired to do like some face painting for a kids party, and I wish I remembered where she had that party because it was like a little room. It was like a private room, and it was like a nice open space. It was kind of like a community center. I need to figure that out. I need to figure that out. Huh. A bar type restaurant in the middle of an eatery out in the open. I'm curious as to like how she worked that out with the restaurant. Because I'm assuming that, you know, people paid for the class, right? And I know that but then again, at an eatery, I mean, essentially you're bringing them business. So I don't know if they would charge you. Maybe you have to order things. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm going to figure it out, y'all. Like, I'm just a girl by herself trying to figure this out. I don't have no team, child. You can start by trying, just showing us from the POV of a GoPro camera. Okay. I was going to say the same thing. Find an up-and-coming restaurant, do a collab. Huh. I got a lot to think about, y'all. I got some planning to do. But we gonna figure this out. My DMV divas, so we can do our link. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this Saturday. I love y'all so much. Please enjoy your weekend. Have something good to eat. Get some rest, y'all. Good night. Thank you all so much for joining. I know I went off on my little side tangent. She partnered with the person that owns the restaurant. We supported her Black business by ordering one of her beverages. And yes, my friend paid for the class. Okay. Just look up DMV does. Okay. Thank you for that. See y'all at the next live. All of these words in the universe, let's manifest it. Exactly. I love that attitude, Claudia. All right, my loves. Y'all have a good night. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Have a great weekend. Eat something good. Get some rest, y'all. Okay? And really rest. Don't allow capitalism to guilt you into feeling like you need to be doing more work. Okay? I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all for the next one. I have a Nene video that I need to post. I'll likely post it tomorrow. So y'all will see me tomorrow. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.